Hey, it's Heather. What if the life I built so carefully was just a false sense of control? I feel that one in my bones. I think for some of us, we were told what a good life looks like. There were boxes to check. And I think looking back, it felt like I was just a little lemming moving forward just like everybody else. And there was a sense of panic if I didn't believe that I could follow that same path or I couldn't be successful. It means I didn't fit in. I didn't match with everybody else. And so for me, somehow I thought that just getting all the ducks in a row, staying organized, hyper vigilant in planning schedules and getting things mapped out and recorded in planners, I thought that that was going to help me to get where everyone told me I needed to be. And in the end, that couldn't have been further from the truth. It took me decades to start digging in and saying, what do you actually want? Like, don't pay attention to what society tells you. Don't pay attention to what people in your sphere of influence tell you. Heather, um, oh, that was hard. And it still is hard for me to truly be that independent, no shits given, like, I'm gonna do my way, even though it might seem on the outside like that's what I do. There's still inner resistance from me about not fitting in, even though I know the value of how I feel now that I'm living my own life. And for me, I know a long time ago, I would say maybe when I left teaching and was starting a business that I really didn't have a plan for, I really started to feel panic. Scarcity mindset came in. I felt suffocating because seemed to be so many components that now I didn't have control over. When I was a contracted teacher, I mean, talk about something that's so regimented. Like, we even were told when to go to the bathroom according to a bell system. And so when you strip that away, and now all of a sudden I'm an entrepreneur, I felt like there were so many more things I needed to control. We have contracts and we have marketing and we have feedback and just like all this stuff and we have bills to pay. And I thought, oh my goodness. And I heard someone say, on more of a spiritual level, like you have to learn how to let go of control. And I was like, I don't even understand what you're talking about. What are you talking about giving up control? And I know that me trying to unpack what let go of control means has been so 22, that would have been like, oh, it's over a 3-year process. What does it mean to let go of control? Because I think I have lived so rigidly fearful of what's on the other side of a misstep that I really have struggled to make decisions my whole life that weren't maybe fueled by anxiety or fear or the fear of rejection. Um, and I remember, I mean, obviously quitting my teaching job with just going on a whim, I finally had some financial security and I upset that apple cart. I didn't even think twice and holy moly, like I'm still standing today, but um now that I know what it takes to be an entrepreneur, like it's not easy and there's so much freedom and flexibility in the same way. And it's like I can't even imagine going back to a real job. But when I quit that job that was my security, it was health insurance, it was a regular paycheck that paid my mortgage. Like when I was willing to give that up, I was giving up some control. But then I was like, did I do something wrong? And I was just scrambling. And in that time since then, I really just been leaning into what makes me feel good and stop doing the things that don't feel good. And maybe they never did. Um, and so I noticed that that's honoring myself. And through that process, I'm starting to hear more and more the narratives that others have offered me, society, we'll just call it. Like, do you notice that? But if you just sit with yourself long enough, you already know, oh, that isn't for me. Oh, that's not what I wanna do, and those were the aha moments, and so every time I'd feel a little nugget of joy from choosing myself, I was kinda letting go of some control, and my nervous system would be seen. We still had a lot to do on that, but it reminds me of last spring, I was, financially staring at a dark hole. That's just, like, a big thing for me, scarcity mindset, feeling safe. Obviously, it was only 5 years ago I was homeless, and so it's explainable. But I remember I was driving to a coffee shop to have a coffee date on a Friday, and somewhere out in the blue here, a thought came in that said, "Do you even like owning a house?" And it's funny because right away, my inner voice, my intuition said, No." But yet, I have owned so many homes in the past almost 2 decades because I believed that when my world fell apart over and over again and I had to find housing, to own a home suggested that I was doing the right thing for me, for my kids. And I never once thought of the cost it was costing me on so many levels, like so many levels mentally. And so on that Friday, as I was driving to coffee with my good friend Shani, and I let this idea come in. I was like, "Do you even like owning a home?" I was thinking of the leaking fascia around the chimney. I was thinking of all the shoveling that I had done that winter, and I have a really bad back, and just like this fearful, like, "Oh, I don't know how to fix these things in a house. I've never been in one long enough." And let me tell you, by Monday by Monday, I had signed up and was putting a down payment on an apartment just because I started listening, even asking myself, "Do you even like this? Do you have an option?" I can't believe how many decisions I've made in my life that I just kept moving forward and didn't realize I had options. And that's about that false sense of control. I believed that owning a home would give everybody else, including myself, the belief that Heather's okay. Yeah, Heather went through some tough stuff, but she's okay because she owns a house. So, like, where in your life are you wearing that mask? If I get all my ducks in a row, nobody's gonna, go off course. We're not gonna do the wrong thing because it all had to fall down for me. I moved into this apartment here. I love this space, and I say that almost daily to someone about how much I love this space. I feel so taken care of. It's clean, it's got community, and free coffee. Unlimited free amazing coffee. And I'm like, I feel so seen here. My car is downstairs. I don't have to worry about ever owning a shovel again. And that's because I cared enough to just let go of a little control. What are you holding on to in your life that if you just laid it on down, your life might look really different? And then maybe in ways you never even imagined. Like I'd fight to stay here. I love it that much. And it wasn't until about 6 months after moving into this space that I was challenged by Maris to say, "Are you ready to really listen to your nervous system?" And I know I shared this story before, but it was like, "I don't know what you're saying. You want me to lay on the couch and watch TV or Netflix all day until my nervous system feels better? I've been in trauma on and off for, friggin' 3 decades. I don't know much lifetime without trauma." And I was like, "What do you mean?" But it wasn't about that. I followed the motions that were suggested to me of just letting it all go, letting go of the control. And it wasn't about a period of time of resting. It was about creating a life that I could enjoy and show up for. My nervous system was heard in that moment. And it was the single most important thing I've done in my healing journey was just to throw it all down. No excuses, no apologies, just no. So now, not quite 6 months later, I've created my monthly art club, which brings me so much joy. I'm piloting a care scent program, which is a way to honor our clients and VIPs on a corporate level. We published Floyd's Baller. Like, my heart is full and happy, and things are coming into my life that bring me continued joy. It's because I let go of some of that control. Quit mapping it out. So now, here's what my day looks like now, my schedule. I know for myself, like an actual appointment, one appointment a day is okay. I love the days with no appointments. I have lots of work to do to keep my business going. But now what I do is I wake up and I think of what's the one or two key things that I need to do today. Like, that's it. Like, if it might be getting to the post office to mail some books or some art, or it might be something else. But it's like one or two key things a day. And after that, it's hands off. Just go with the flow. Things will come. Inspiration will come. All of a sudden, I'll find myself working on some sort of creating a sales director role for my business. It comes out of nowhere, but it's because I'm not planned. And so I've learned I can play. I can go to coffee like I did this morning with all of my daughters and my granddaughter, and it is a Wednesday, and I pulled Leia from school, and that's freedom and flexibility. And it's not because I'm an entrepreneur. That's why I could go in the middle of the day, but it's because of letting go of control. I think for me, it's also meant, detaching from social media or and not, I'm still on there, but just like detaching. Now I'm analog. I'm analog on my planner. I'm analog. My whole ledger system for Hezzie Mae this year, I'm doing ledger because it's tangible and I'm present and there's some sense of ownership in that. And as I get ready to start another book, there's a lot of beauty in handwriting it. So we'll see, and I'll keep you posted. But my TED Talk today is about what it really means to let go of control. Man, it's really a rock bottom position, and it's not easy. But boy, is there information there, and oh, is it beautiful. So consider, how carefully have you structured your house of cards? What's going to happen if a wind comes? Or what if you held things loosely and you didn't do that type of a system, so that there's just freedom and flexibility for the pivots that we know life is going to send our way. Period. It's a challenge. Where can you let it go? All right, humans, have a super great day.